Good morning, everyone. So here I am back again. It's been over a week now. So we started last Friday with the live with Dapper and Suave. So now we're on our fourth one today, which is really good. So today we're going to be with Dominy from Oddie Hope. So just wait for her to join. Then I'll obviously she'll pop up and say hello, and then we can have a chat. Just sat here in the window, which is a lovely day today, and the weather's looking better, which is great. So, yep. So let me just have a look. So there we go, and there we go. Oddie and Hope. So, ooh, and so I'm just trying to press this, and let me just have a go. Sorry, let's. Let's have a look. Right. Okay, just having a bit of bother at the moment. I can't seem to invite Oddie and Hope in. It's not letting me do it. Let me just have another go. There we go. Unable to join. Right, she's here, but it's saying unable to join, which is very weird. I've never had that before. So, right. Technology, we absolutely love it, don't we? So hopefully this will be okay. Sorry for the little glitch there. So, yay! Oh,
I'm so
sorry
relieved.
about that.
I had that minute when it wasn't going to work and it wasn't going to happen today.
Oh, I was like, why? Because everyone was there. I could have joined. I could just had a little party with everyone else, but it wouldn't let me put you in. But there we go. It's probably the connections and technologies. So how are you?
I'm very
You
well,
good?
thank you. How are you? How are you? How are you
Yeah,
in
really good. I
lockdown?
like glasses. Yeah, surviving. Yeah, lots keeping busy, which is really good. So, yeah, there's some really positive things coming out of it. Some things that I can't share just yet, but I will be sharing soon, which are very exciting. So, yeah, with you guys as well. So, yeah. So, if you could introduce yourself, including your business name and what you make and sell.
So I'm Dominy Hope, and I'm the designer and maker behind the brand Oddie and Hope. And I make jewellery, but I make gold and silver jewellery. I use precious stones, but actually one of the things I try and do is reuse and recycle. And I use a lot of bits like this, which is just an old silver bowl
Yep.
or an old sort of thing, and turn them into something that's new and loved. And it's all done by hand. I use traditional silversmithing methods, which is how I was trained. And therefore everything that I produce is unique and special to whoever gets it at the end of the day. That's me.
Fantastic. I think that's very important at the moment, isn't it? Just as in talking in these chats of just having something that's unique and that somebody else hasn't got is really quite special, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I think the whole shop local has become really important. And not just because of reducing the carbon footprint, but because there are so many people like me who are doing something independently and something that's a bit special, but there's still historically been a bit of a tendency to go into the bigger shops and the bigger stores, and it's very easy to go into the likes of Pandora and just, oh, I'll just get another charm. It's a bit of a not have to think about it. Whereas, you know, if something from an independent, it really is different. It means you've thought about it.
Yeah, it definitely. So where are you based and when did you set up your business?
So I'm based in Guildford, in Surrey, fairly close to the centre, but actually that just places me in the middle of the Surrey Hills. I've been working, we've had the business now for 4 years, and it's growing. It's slow, particularly the last year, but it is growing. And I set it up when I retired from the 6 a.m. trips into the city. And just thought I'm too old for that now, and actually I want to do something a bit different. And I keep a hand in my old job. I actually also work part-time as CFO for fintech for good company that's helping sort of social lenders compete with the payday lenders and reduce the poverty premium, which again is so important in this environment. So easy to, so many people need more money just to live, survive, and the last thing you do is have to go to one of the payday lenders. So I keep a hand in, but my inspiration, my love is here, my relaxation is in doing this business.
Yeah, I think as well, talking to Flossie the other day, isn't it? Talking just about not having to commute, it's just that whole extra time that you're getting back and money as well, isn't it? Which with not traveling, so that we can't travel anyway. So
no, that journey into London, it's hard work. It doesn't feel like it. It gets some wonderful inspiration, and it's amazing going into London and seeing all of the buildings and Big Ben and everything else. But it becomes a trudge, and you miss so much family time as well and friends. So I'm delighted to be at home. Every world.
I think like yourself there, just talking about London, I think I so enjoy, and when we can get back to go to London, I enjoy going to London for a day, the whole shopping, drinking, eating. It's something that I kind of miss, but actually when you're on the treadmill of commuting, it can be quite, isn't it?
It can. I don't that at all.
No, exactly. So what is your favourite item to create and why?
And I hope you're going to let me have two.
Yeah, that's fine. Go for it. Go for as many as you like.
Because I have two very different things. So I brought some samples here. I have lovely cups, and the reason I like making these is because you just start with a strip of metal, or you start with something like this, and you roll it out. You get a strip of metal, and you really do turn it into something that's beautiful and everyday wear, and it's such a transformation. And there's a lot of hammering in it, and I get. It's quite a nice stress relief. So I enjoy making those, and they're personal because they're all made to measure. So before I make one, I ask for the sizes of the wrist and the height and the width, so I know that whoever's going to get it is going to fit them, and dangle about and get in the way. That's from my old city days when I used to get into the office looking nice and strip everything off because I couldn't work with it. And then the other thing, which is I make these lovely, I think they're lovely, seahorses. And the reason I love doing these is because each one of them has a shape and personality hand carved into it. So I cast one originally, and then I just sit there and work. Probably can't see it. There and work, and just everyone. And the bit I really love are the faces. I do all the faces, so every single one has its own little face. Love them, absolutely love them, and it's very satisfying, and they're beautiful.
Yeah, I think as well, when I'm publicising the events and the countdown, I kind of, what I do is I think some people find it quite hard to find something. So I go and look and find, and I actually, the seahorse, I use that because I just thought it was so different and unique from what other people do, isn't it? Which is, I like that one. Yeah, I like the seahorse.
Shame, because I produced one yesterday for a birthday present that was a cuff with the seahorse on.
Yeah.
It already has a seahorse necklace, and I would have loved to have shown it today, but it had to be delivered last night for her birthday.
That's good. This question, it repeats itself a bit, but it says, where and what is your workplace? Obviously, we know that you're in Guildford, but what is your workspace then? So obviously, you're in your workspace.
I'm in my workspace.
Which you've tidied. I saw that.
As you and I discussed this week, it's a very tidy workspace today. I have a workspace because there's so many tools. Well, there's a couple of things. One, I need security because I am working with precious stones and precious metals.
Sure.
So I need to make sure it's safe, particularly if I'm working on something for someone specific. But it also has everything at hand. So it has all my hammers at hand, and they're all in different sort of shapes and heads and all collected. And I'm very careful with them because as soon as you scratch something, that then marks the metal. And then of course I'm using gas, I'm using propane, so I need to have the right right everything, right environment. And I unfortunately in some cases have to use chemicals, often for polishing and cleaning, although as much as possible I use those that are environmentally friendly. In fact, I think they all are now, but they have to be locked away. So, but it's
Sure.
also very, you'll see, it tells me the light. I need the light to work.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, we've kind of done that with sort of Dapper and Suave. We had 2 rooms, now we have an office and a workshop. I think that Rob was saying earlier, and just that inspiration of sat there. I've got the plants growing, the weather's getting better
yeah,
now. But you know, I can't wait for spring to come so I can sit there with the doors open and just absorb all of that. And actually, thank you for
yeah.
talking because I looked this morning. I thought, why why do you need so many hammers? Because there was all these different hammers, but now I understand because they've all got different shapes. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
they all do textures, but I'm like you. I look out of the window, Jason, and I can see Guildford Cathedral, which
yeah,
I don't like, but I think it's beautiful in its starkness. And I see plants and fields, and actually, and if I sit where I am now, I can see on the left hand side the Wembley Arch, and on the right hand side beyond the city. So it's
yeah,
inspirational space just by itself, and
exactly.
also the family want me to keep my mess away.
Yeah. And it's nice to get away from the family as well, as it shut the door and be in your own zone as such. I mean, I think we're all talking about that, of having that space that belongs to you. You can
Yeah,
be creative, but then you can leave it and go back to it instead of, you know, all of a sudden you're taking up the kitchen and then you want to cook and you've got to move everything. It just doesn't work as such, does it?
no,
Working in mess.
halfway. Or the other thing I find is I have to keep the door shut, because I'm noisy with all those hammers.
Yeah.
If I'm soldering something, if someone comes in and I'm soldering, it's just dangerous, or it all goes wrong, and then I have
Sure.
a mid
Yeah.
panic.
Yeah, exactly. So, have you been working on anything new this year at all?
I've started. I'm pretty poor at how I design. So
Yeah.
I am. I have been scribbling. I'm starting to look at building some pearls into sort of bee designs. I'm clearly getting more and more inspired by the sort of Surrey Hills and everything around me, because I'm clearly
Sure.
thinking that way. But actually, an awful lot of mine is now one off, and it depends what comes out when I melt things down and how they look, and then what becomes of them. So just in that, to show you, so this little ring is it was just a water drop. So it's when I melt
Yeah.
silver, and you can melt a lot of silver before you get something interesting. And then I just mounted it on a ring, and there's some gold leaf in the middle, the sparkle, and it's beautiful. But you know, I could
Yeah.
melt a ton of silver before I get something useful. And then the other thing I'm working on are these lovely rings where each of the little
Wow.
balls is stuck onto each other by hand.
Yeah.
But the stones, because I recycle, often the stones are very old fashioned, and that was a very, very ugly sapphire,
Okay.
that personally
Sure.
I think is now quite pretty,
Yeah,
just
it's
by
lovely.
applying something to it. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
this year. That's my
Yeah, and I think with your jewelry, it's got a lot of you're probably, when people are wearing it, where did you get that from? It's, you know, those sort of compliments that, you know, even if I'm out and about and I see somebody wearing nice jewelry, you know, I'll compliment them and there'll be a story, or, you know, that's a really nice thing, isn't it, as well? Yeah.
yeah, it's
So
really important.
yeah. As you know, Curated by Dapper Suave have an ethos about customer service. That's about being friendly, creative, and unique. So that's how you fit into being curated. So, what is your ethos?
So I have, if I could name it by song, it would
Okay,
probably
a song.
be Fairground Attraction, which is
Yeah,
perfect for those that you remember it.
yeah, I remember it very well.
Which, you know, I try to make everything I do perfect. It's not always there. It's also slightly off center, a lot of it, but it's perfect to me because I want to make sure that people are really excited about what they're getting from me. That it's really good quality, but it's also really unique and something special. And
Sure,
I just want people to be happy. I just want them to really love what they've got. I don't want
yeah,
it put in a drawer.
no, no. And equally as well, isn't it? I think people are getting to that stage now where they have nice jewelry and it saves the best. And it's like at the moment, stick some jewelry on and make yourself feel great by wearing some nice earrings, a bit of jewelry, and you know, putting a nice top on and jewelry instead of going, oh, there's nothing to, you know. as the situation is at the moment, if we'll sit there and mope around, stick some jewelry on and it'll probably make you feel, you know, a bit of makeup, it'll make you feel 10 times better. It's very true.
Yeah,
Talking of that,
and there's, with everyone being on Zoom, there's still things you can wear to make it more exciting. Like you might be wearing jogging bottoms underneath, but actually on top, nice top on and put some jewelry or some nice earrings on. That's always in the back of my mind. So I've tended to move away from the little studs into something that can really stand out when you're on a call with family and friends and work.
The jewelry you've got on there, it really, you know, it really stands out there as well. It's really great, isn't it? So yeah, it's really cool. Just there when you were talking about when you were talking about that the music, do you, when you're in your workshop, is music important to you? Do you sort of have a song? Do you like listening to music when you're working?
I have a Spotify, and it's actually called Sunday music, and it's something I can sing along to, but also relaxes me. I do get very nervous about some of the things I do because I want them to be perfect. Actually, by putting music on behind, it relaxes me, and actually I find I make fewer mistakes. So yeah, it's really important.
Cool. And what are your goals and dreams for this year?
So I really want to keep moving forward. I want to keep growing the business. I have no ambition to be a mass market designer. That's I want to stay doing what I am, and I guess it's keeping to create jewelry that shows who I am as a designer, but that people really want to wear. That's personal and special, and that's so. I'm happy to grow slowly, but give something that people really want.
Yeah, excellent. No, that's very true. I mean, you've got to enjoy what you're doing. The next minute, you know, you've got loads of orders coming in and things like that. I think you're more, it's that enjoying it, isn't it? Which is very important. So who is your support network?
Well, I have to say, Sings has just joined. My lovely husband Simon. Simon, my kids, family. The dog makes me smile every day when she wags her tail, so she has to be part of my support network. And I have some marvelous and wonderful friends, lots of Sarahs who help, and Sue, and all the college girls that I was at college with, who are so encouraging, supporting. But there's one I have to call out as personally, and that's Gemma from Pure Mess, because not only is she and she inspires me, but she also kicks my butt. And that's from time to time. And then in terms of organisations, Surrey Hills Enterprises are wonderful. Really been them and support they give from a business perspective. And you guys are fantastic, of course. You just you're doing something so special and so different to other people. It's hugely appreciated.
Cool. And that kind of comes on to the last question. I don't know if you've answered it, but it's saying, why do you like working with Curated by Dapper and Suave?
And not just because you're fun and lovely to be around, but you know, you've really done something different. And I'm so pleased that you're driving it forward this year as an independent yourselves, because there's a lot of fairs and markets that happen, and there's no one else that I found so far that really looks at what's behind what's at those markets and those fairs and those organisations and things, and who independent with the products that they make rather than just buy in and resell, that looks at the designers and makers and you know, and really supports them, and you engage so much with us. I mean, every have and promote is there's so much promotion no one does.
Thank you. It's, I mean, as we all know, we were looking at last year, very, very lucky to have, you know, 3 events that took place. You were 2 of them, and you know, it's kind of, it does annoy me a little bit when people go, oh, there were no live events. Yes, there were, and we were very lucky to have them. And you know, at the moment, as you're all aware, we're working on the availability. That's all coming back. We're waiting till Sunday, but we've got some brand new people, and also with that, you know, I'm just making sure they're right. And also another thing that I will be doing is just with people making sure that they know how to sell their products, because I think there's a lot of people who they think, oh, this is great, I've got this, and then they don't know how to interact with customers. So that's something that I want to get on board and just help people, because, you know, if you've got a great product and you don't know how to sell it, then, you know, that's it. We all need to, there we go, this Pure Mess has just joined. You've got to mention earlier, Gem, you can go back and watch it. So yeah, and you know, that's really exciting of, you know, what's coming in the future. And you know, we're really excited of the, you know, the people we've got on board. There are some people who are no longer doing the events, which is really sad. Some of them are right from the beginning. It's just circumstances, and you know, maybe now they will. They've said they won't be there, but they're looking forward to coming and being, you know, the shoppers as such, which is great. So yeah, so really, really, really lovely to talk to you, and to see you in person. I say there's been so much feedback that I've received about, and we've only done 4 of these. We've got another few to do, but people are just so, you know, like just seeing like us and seeing who's popping up, and it just is. Can you see who's coming in? Does it show you? I don't. It's lovely, isn't it? It's really nice, and yeah, and
it is. And you know, I was so nervous about doing this as well, because this is outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
But it's also so important, and I think it's the same for other people. What you're doing is taking someone who is a designer or an independent maker, and putting them in a position where they're promoting that they wouldn't normally do, that they're actually quite happy building stuff, but really not with marketing or showing their face.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So much. I really appreciate it. Love being part of it.
And I think it's true where, you know, I think learning as in, you know, I think back in the days, there were so many people who would make something, they'd stick it on a table, and then the next minute they're on their phone, they're eating, they're drinking, and then customers come to them and they just ignore them, and then they say, I haven't sold anything, but it's you who sells them. And, you know, there was somebody the other day, and I looked, and oh, great, I looked there, and there was a picture, and it was exactly that. They had all their stuff there, and the person was on their phone, and I thought, nah, not contacting them, because it's just, you know, it's like, it doesn't feel, and it also gives you, you know, that confidence. We were talking to Flossie, who the other day was really nervous, and then that evening she went live and she said it was great. And just to talk to a camera, it feels bizarre, but actually people are liking it. They're liking to see, and I like to see who's behind the product. I think that's more really important. So yeah. So thank you very much. We'll be back here on Monday, and we have David from Photo Finish Jewelry. So
wow.
chatting to him on Monday. And like I say, just before, I'll be letting people know who's there. So so wishing everyone a lovely weekend. Hopefully it's not so cold today, because it's been absolutely freezing. It's been really cold, hasn't it?
Freezing.
And so yeah. So yeah, so there we go. So thank you so much, and take care, and see you all soon. Bye bye.
See you all soon.
See you later.
Have a good
care. Bye bye.